Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys.
Today we're here to review issue 18 of Darth Vader. Yeah, and by far one of my most favorite issues of this series so far.
It's picked up in this issue. I was confused at what was going on at first, but towards the end you find out why it's happening, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was only confused just because we literally just got out of an issue of Tarkin on a Star Destroyer, and now he's down on a planet.
Now he's down on a planet.
That's the only thing that confused me.
Yeah.
So, like I just said,
we
pick up the issue with Tarkin and a number of his people, assassins,
right,
is what he labels them, I believe, hunting Darth Vader. And we pick it up in his narrative. In his narrative.
A lot of this is Tarkin's narrative explaining the things that are going on. This issue is called Bad Ground.
The whole issue is 90% of Tarkin's narrative.
Narrative, yes. And what's very interesting about this is, like, it's like I can barely speak. It's so
awesome.
Good. Like, so they're hunting Vader, which they're on this planet, and
we don't know why.
We don't know why at first. We just know that they're hunting Vader. They see Vader off in the background. He's wearing like this cloak, and apparently on this planet there's these monsters that wear this skin that kind of makes them invisible to the naked eye. So Vader apparently has killed one of these, wrapped that around him to use, but they're actually able to see him. And in the narrative, he's like, look, he wants us to see him. He wants us to know that he's there. And so they're devising their plan to say, look, let's go. We have to go after him. This is what we have to do.
Yeah, and throughout this narrative, we actually get more information from Tarkin about the hunt, and that is this one panel of them seeing Vader with that cloak, that animal skin cloak, wasn't the first time. They've actually been hunting him for some time now, so much so that Tarkin has learned so much about Vader.
Right. Now he did
during this entire hunt.
Yeah. So the one thing that he found out is that at the beginning of this hunt, we know that Vader is very lethal with a lightsaber. He knows that is his true power. So he devised a plan to say, look, let's get some flamethrowers going on, because it doesn't seem, if we're shooting blasters at him, he just deflects those. He can kill us with them.
And lightsabers can't break fire.
Right. Lightsabers can't break fire. So let's use that. And that didn't turn out, because you know why? Vader uses the Force and it breaks those flamethrowers and makes them explode.
He doesn't attack the flames. He attacked the flamethrowers.
Right.
What was interesting about this is actually Tarkin says at one point, prior to him using the Force, he actually did see a glimpse of fear in Vader.
Yes, a glimpse of fear. I'm not sure how he saw it through the mask, but I think he said through the body language. Through his body language, he saw the fear.
Yes, he did. Yep.
But, of course, Vader uses the Force, explodes the flamethrowers.
And still, though, Tarkin learned a great deal about this.
Yes.
Most importantly, was this where he learned about the distance of the Force, or are we still on the lightsaber? We're still on the lightsaber.
It's still on the lightsaber, but it does come up here pretty soon. So
I love this part, because he's like, what I learned is Vader's not that hard to track.
Right.
He actually wants to be found and wants to be hunted.
Yeah, he wants to be found. He wants one-on-one combat. He wants to take people down one by one. So they do devise a plan where they took away his lightsaber. They're like, let's take the one thing that we know he's lethal at, take that away, and then see how he's going to change his tactics. Now, this isn't just a hunt for Vader. We're also getting background to the brilliance of Tarkin.
Yeah.
Tarkin is a planner.
Absolutely.
He is a strategic. So he is also devising his plans into this, as well as learning about Vader's plans.
Because at one point when he's talking about the lightsaber, he says, you could see that this is the one thing that he would show emotion about. It's the only thing that Vader would show emotion about.
Because he's very attached to it.
So much so that when he was, take for example, Tarkin says, when he was standing next to Palpatine one time, he could see Vader stroking the lightsaber, touching it. Such stroking.
I think he says stroking it in there.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, but he could see Vader touching the lightsaber in a way of just saying, you're there, right?
Yeah, he's very attached to it. And then we do get into where Tarkin is learning about the distance of how Vader can use the Force. So he knows that in, of course, close proximity or somewhat too, Vader can just close his hands, everyone chokes to death or dies. So he's learning about, okay, let's see if maybe we can be further away from him so I can know the distance I have to be to where he can't use the Force on me. And I thought that was just brilliant.
It was.
Learning.
And him even saying, I had to lose 8 men in order to learn that, but it was worth losing the men to learn that knowledge, to know how far of a distance I have to keep myself from him being able to activate the Force.
And I just wonder, like, how did he just go out and like put like, okay, I have I need bounty hunters. He's just I think Tarkin knew that all these people were going to die, but this is what we have to do right now.
Yeah.
This next part is cool. So Vader, as they're hunting him, Vader brings them. They're searching for him, and they bring him into this kind of little, like a corridor or some type of area where they're hearing him breathing. They're hearing the but because it's echoey in there, then they have this creature who is like a little mouse or a little rat who has really great hearing, and he can hear Vader's breathing from a long way away.
Yeah, so we know that Vader's suit activates the breathing mechanism in that suit, and that's what the mouse-like creature is hearing, is that system in his suit.
But because of where they are, the breathing is coming from all directions, so he can't pinpoint where they are.
They're in like this huge crystal cave or corridor, and the reflections of that sound is bouncing off those crystals and just going everywhere. They can't read it correctly.
And they figure out that, or Tarkin figures out that he's brought us into a kill box, which is basically, we're down here, he's up there, and he has the advantage.
And he has the high ground.
He has the high ground. And Vader does damage.
Yes.
He starts to kill. Tarkin is trying to get them to form up to kind of get close proximity to each other. And then very soon the mouse creature, he's like, okay, he's going away. What does he call him? The Dark Demon.
Yeah.
He calls him the Dark Demon.
Yeah, he says Dark Demon gone.
Dark Demon gone, so you can't hear him anymore.
They camp for the night.
They camp.
And we get the mouse creature again telling Tarkin that the Dark Demon is gone, but not for long, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because he's using the cloak, Vader appears and chokes the crap out of the mouse.
And in the narrative, I love because Tarkin says, and then just that quickly, death is among us.
Yes.
Which is true. And Vader appears and he just goes balls out.
Now,
crazy.
So first of all, why didn't the mouse pick up the breathing? And what Tarkin reveals is that Vader chose to turn off his breathing mechanism in his suit as a way to deter the mouse from being able to pick him up and track him.
Now the biggest thing, Tarkin is like, shouldn't he be dying? Doesn't he need that to survive? So Tarkin's kind of like, so as Vader is going through and killing all these people, he's literally dying at the same time. Well, because of his resilience and his, how Vader is, his vengeance to win, it's able to push him on until he then decides to reactivate it. Which is just disgusting.
Well, and he reactivates it when he gets his lightsaber back.
He does get his lightsaber back, and then they know that, okay, it's pretty much done now. We need to run.
Well,
there's nothing now. Tarkin is the only one left.
He kills everyone.
Vader killed everyone. Tarkin's the only one left. So Tarkin is running. He's shooting the lightsaber just to try to gain some ground on him, to try to stay enough distance so Vader can't use the Force on him. So he knows he's coming to his eventual end.
He realizes it, and this is where he gives up. But he has intelligently played it right. He knows that the planet that they're on, he's excavated it prior to landing on this planet, and he knows that if you stand tall enough, you will get struck.
And a huge bolt of lightning goes right into Vader, and Vader is pretty much out for the count, basically knocked out. I think because he's got so much electronics in his suit, I think it just fried everything and took him down. And then we realize what this game has been about. We hear Tarkin saying, well, there, Vader, as we agreed. He's calling in the ship to get him fixed up. but we find out what this hunt was about.
Yeah, I mean, we find out it was a game, right?
It was.
Vader had tasked.
He asked him.
He asked Tarkin to hunt him.
Right. Tarkin, basically the premise of this whole thing is Vader always believes that he is going to win.
Yeah.
So Tarkin wanted to basically show him that there will be times where you will lose. And that's what this hunt is. Vader wanted to see if they could hunt and kill him and do their best. Did I get it
wrong? But it did mention that they had a relationship prior years ago. I thought I read that.
Vader found out about Tarkin's past. And he mentioned about Tarkin. Tarkin was on this planet where Tarkin was a good hunter. That's what he did on this planet. So somehow Vader found out about his past, and that's why this came up. That's why he asked Tarkin to hunt him, because that's what Tarkin did on either a planet or a previous planet. So he wanted to see how good he was.
So Tarkin is explaining this, and just as he thinks he has the upper hand and has won, no. Vader chokes him. And just prior to that, we get the narrative kind of mentions about Vader being, he's very, the Inquisitors say, the Inquisitors and Vader have done very well, extinguishing the Jedi. Vader is Palpatine's hunter. So Vader needs to know how much better he can be. But because Vader is so good, he's a man with no one to kill. Yeah, he's essentially killed every challenge that could come his way.
And that's why he wanted this hunt, because he always wants to be challenged. Yep. Fucking love it. So yeah, Vader starts choking Tarkin.
Now, of course, he doesn't kill him.
He doesn't kill him, but Tarkin realizes in Vader's mind, he never loses. Yep. Ever. Even when he's down for the count, he's out, right? No. He still has enough power to force choke somebody and kill him if he needs to. Yeah. Because Vader never loses.
And this was the beauty of it, because in the end, Tarkin says, we are lucky to have him.
We are lucky. And that's just the brilliance of this empire, is he's learning so much about about Vader. And I loved it.
Yeah.
This issue was amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. One of my favorite issues of this series. It truly was. It did. And the cover for the next one.
The cover for the next issue, it's very reminiscent to the poster of Star Wars Episode 4, but it's lethal. It's so good. I thoroughly enjoyed this issue. I did. I loved it.
Awesome learning about Vader
and Tarkin,
and both of them.
Yeah.
You get to see it's like left brain, right brain,
Yeah.
Not necessarily good versus evil, but brute versus intelligence, right?
Because even when we were done with issue 17, we looked at this next issue cover, and I was like, "Is that Tarkin hunting Vader?" And Josh was like, "No, I think they're just on a planet, and Tarkin is just taking cover." We got it wrong, man. This was all about Tarkin hunting Vader. I would never expect.
And
that.
In my previous comment, not that Vader isn't intelligent.
No,
but
he's very intelligent.
It was cool to see that commander versus a soldier type deal.
Exactly. So let us know your thoughts, because this was absolutely amazing. We are both loving this run. I got him into reading Vader. We missed out on the previous run for Vader, but this is absolutely amazing. He's loving it. We're loving it, and we hope you guys are loving it, because it's awesome.
Yep.
And if you haven't picked it up, go get it. If you're a fan of Star Wars,
only 18 issues, you can get through that in a couple of days.
Definitely. So, let us know your thoughts, guys, in the comments, and make sure you follow us at NocBro Nation on Twitter and Facebook, and you can also communicate with us there. Subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next issue of Darth Vader coming soon, and I think that this next issue is going to be
glorious.
Yes, Vader. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.